I just actually seen this morning is Aleister Johnson looks like he has picked up an injury in pre-season, looking like he could miss the start of next season. Do you think that that's going to be a big worry for Celtic to not have him?
I think so. I think it's a major problem for him. I think he'll have to bring someone in if he's not going to be ready for the start. I don't know what the situation is. I mean, you can't have just one because Tony Robson flies into tackles as well, so you couldn't. You know, there's a few games before now and the end of pre-season, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tony gets Robson to get injured. Depends how long he's going to be out. If they think it's going to be long term, then they've got to bring someone in. I would say. That's a blow. I didn't know that. I don't think he played in pre-season. I think he's played, so it must have been.
No, I think the first game was.
I don't think
last night.
They won 7-2 last night, but none of the first team played.
Yeah.
There was nobody playing, so maybe got it tripping up going into the ground. I don't know. I don't think he could be that bad if it's not in a game.
Yeah.
Could have been training, might have been pulled up, but if it's a hamstring, I don't know what it is. Have you got any idea?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
No. If it's a hamstring, as long as it's not pulled, it's just a strain. It'll be 2 or 3 weeks. He'll be ready for the start of the season.
Yeah.
In that way, then I wouldn't bias a fullback. But you know, it's you need a fullback for the going into the Rangers game. It's only a few weeks after the start of the season, so I'd be concerned about that, I would think. Yeah,
I mean, do you think he'll still look to bring in reinforcements in that area anyway, regardless of Johnson's kind of status?
Yeah. Well, I think Johnson, for me, he surprised everyone. He's came in. I watched him in the World Cup. Was it in Canada? It was different class, and he doesn't seem to get rattled with it. He came right in. It was I think it might have been his first was the Rangers game.
Yeah,
and he didn't take any nonsense off any of them, and it looked as if he belonged there, and that's the kind of character you need at a big club like Celtic. So he's come in, he's enjoyed it, and hopefully he can stay fit because he's a good player. I don't know who they're going to buy, because at the moment I can tell you, I don't think Brendan's signed one player yet. So I don't understand what's happening, because obviously the boys that have been signed were obviously in the pipe, if you like, they were in the transition of getting a move anyway. Obviously the manager said, yeah, okay, I'll take him. But I don't think it's his signings, if you know what I mean. So I'm looking for big things. I think I'm still looking for Celtic to be spending quite a bit of money. And it's just my own thoughts. I would rather they come in pre-season and get to know the lads before the season starts. And I think the manager would be trying to do that. I really do. I think he'll be trying to get players in the next week or so.
Yeah. You would like to think so, wouldn't you? Just kind of sort of on the topic of signings, they've obviously agreed a couple of contract extensions. Obviously, Maeda, Kyogo were the two big ones, and Callum McGregor as well. But is there anyone within the squad currently that you think could be putting pen to paper on an extension in the kind of coming weeks? Is there anyone you'd like to see extending their time?
No, I think he's got them tied down. I think the rest of the boys are on quite decent contracts. I think he's still got to get a lot of people out the door. Yeah. I think he's got to get them out. I mean, there's players that's not going to be involved. So I don't know what the situation is with that, but I'm not sure. Hatate, I'd love to see Hatate's get an extension, but I mean, it wouldn't make any difference if he gave Hatate a longer contract, because if he plays as well as what he's been playing, and you know, and hopefully, as I said to you, I hope we get a year out of him, another year, because I think he's the one that can get down and shine down the Premiership. You know, I think he's very much a player that can adapt to that pace and the movement, and his vision's just, for a striker, it'd be great to play, you know, someone like that wants to find you. So I think that's what they're looking for down south. But I'm hoping it doesn't matter if they give him a contract. It just means that they'll get more money for him.
Exactly.
Which could be a good, which could be a saving grace. And the boy's winning because if he goes to England, he's getting more money because obviously the price tag. And if he stays, he's getting a rise. So that's what I would like to. I don't know how long contracts is with him. But yeah, Hatate I'd like to tie down because that way if he goes, he gets more. Celtic get more money.
Yeah.
And if he stays, he's getting he's keeping up with Thiago and McGregor and Maeda. So yeah.
Win-win, I suppose.
Yeah,
definitely. And someone else who's been attracting a bit of interest is Matt O'Reilly. We've obviously kind of over the last couple of months or so, there's been a lot of rumours about him. Links with the Premier League now, links with a couple of clubs in Spain, the likes of Real Betis and Valencia. But I mean, you mentioned about how you think another year out of Hatate. Do you think the same about O'Reilly? Do you think he'll be there longer? Do you think he's ready now?
And so I think the manager, I don't know who the manager's bringing in. So he was sitting here and he might bring in a midfield player that is first choice. Obviously, I mean, so I don't know what the situation is with O'Reilly. He's improved tremendously since he came in. He came from Huddersfield. Is it Huddersfield he came from, isn't
it? MK Dons, I think.
MK Dons. Yeah. So he came from there and he's really stepped in. I thought he didn't have it what it takes at the first. Took him a few games. And you can see the boy's a talent. So I can understand why people. I think he'd be better suited to abroad than going down south. I think especially the Premiership is so fast and it's so quick and you don't get a lot of time and listen, you can shield the ball better. Hatate can find space, whereas Jota likes to go out. Jota. O'Reilly, he likes to go in and find space at the edge of the box, and sometimes that's not available in the Premiership. You've got to do more than that. I think the pace of the game in Italy or Spain would be better suited. But I don't think he's want to go anywhere. I think he's quite happy. And I mean, coming from MK Dons to Celtic is a huge. He must be walking out. And every interview you see with the boy, it's like he's walking out and it's like, I've got all the sweeties. It's like he stole all the sweeties at the dressing room. That's what he looks like. Now, he looks like as if he's enjoying it. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be too concerned about anyone leaving at the moment. The problem is that I think he's going to bring. I was hoping we were going to be sitting here talking about big signings.
New signing, I know.
But I think he's going to bring in 2 or 3. I mean, I think we're going to get big signings. I'm hoping anyway.
Yeah, you would have thought so, especially with all the money coming in.
Yeah, the signings, we'll know what position we can let go and.
Yeah, exactly. And we obviously spoke last week about the Rangers Celtic allocation debacle. It's now looking like Hearts have capped their away allocation for every team apart from Hibs, it seems like. We obviously saw, Celtic went there and went to Tynecastle and won the league, and there were hardly any fans there. What do you make of, a club like Hearts saying, okay, we're only letting 650 away fans in?
Well, I think it's wrong. I think that the SFA is a joke, or whoever is. I know it's Hearts ground; they can do what they want, but it's football. You've got to let away fans in. I get Hearts they follow up, but if they don't start winning, it's an empty space in Tynecastle. When they're not winning, there's a lot of diehard fans go week in, week out, but if they're not winning all the time, then that's not a full house. So I don't understand why they're not wanting Celtic Rangers fans there. I mean, it's incredible. It could be a difference of about £1 million, or £500,000 a year maybe. If they let them in, what they're getting from them, I think it'd be incredible. I don't get that's why they're not one. Celtic and Rangers, I can understand. The only reason with Celtic Rangers is because of the fans above them. And I can understand, that and they must see Celtic Rangers now negotiating to get them back in. So now they're going to start. So, I mean, it's just that it's down to the powers. I don't know who's got authority over that, but you surely as a football unit, you've got to say, hold on a minute, you've got to let fans in. You know, someone's got to be held accountable to someone just saying that I will not let them in. You can't do that. You know, it's a football game.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yes, I don't know. Get Sky. Sky's the one that gets power. They've got the one that's got power. They obviously want fans in to the ground, so it's them. Have to drop a wee letter to the chairman of Hearts and say, look, you've got to let them in, we're not paying you. You know?
Yeah.
I just don't get it why you
I know.
Don't get that. I mean, if you ask any player at Hearts, they want Celtic Rangers fans there.
Yeah.
There's such a great wind up with them. You know, and it's good you go there, and that's part of football.
But yeah,
I just think it's football, and football authorities have got to step in and do their job. I mean, you hardly hear anyone at the SFA, you know, that except when they're making a complete mess of it. You know, like cut fine at certain times, and it's some absolute nonsense. They've got to show a backbone and say to the clubs, look, this is not happening. You know, and just speak to the players. It's as simple as that. The guy that's brought this from Hearts, he's never played football, obviously, and for him to do that, because that's part of the game. Your players play better when there's a way of support there.
Yeah.
So I would like to see it get it sorted and stop the stupidness. You know?
I know. If it's not one, it's another. It's just yeah. Just speaking of Rangers, actually, the big news from them was that they've brought back Leon Balogun. After Leon King's injury. What do you make of that? The way he left was all a bit strange. You know, it was kind of he had wanted to stay. His contract ended. He didn't get offered a new one. But, I mean, he's back, obviously, now. Do you think that that's a good move from Rangers? Do you think it's maybe a step backwards? What do you think?
I think it's a better move for him. The boy, because he wasn't wanted, now he's wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would you go back if a year ago they didn't want you, or a couple of years ago they didn't want you. Now they're wanting you because there's injuries. Listen, the boy, if he's not doing it, he's on a free. You're not going to say no to going to Rangers. Was he good enough? I don't know. Obviously, they didn't think so. So the boy's got something to prove. And that maybe be the time when he steps up. But he's getting let go for QPR. I mean, he's obviously not hit the button down there and played really well, because obviously they wouldn't let you go if they do that. So if Michael Beale thinks there's something in it and he can see him, then fine. I think it's a win-win, but it's definitely a win for the player.
Yeah. Seems like he wanted to go back, so...
Yeah, he'll get decent money and he'll go up there and it's a free.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and obviously, he's coming in because Leon King has picked up this seemingly pretty bad injury, and they say he's going to be out for a significant period of time. But, given the fact that he wasn't really in the side last season and now he's facing this spell on the sidelines, do you think that that's going to be a big personal blow to him, where he's not going to have this chance to really try and prove himself in pre-season?
The boy King, I think they really liked him, didn't they? They were raving about him, and the boy done on. He came in, and he's only a young boy, isn't he? For what I gather, he came in with another young boy. Yeah. And they were, I wouldn't say they were hopeless, but they were learning the game. And the two of them, they didn't. If you coming in, you're expecting to play with an experienced centre half who's going to show you the ropes and going to tell you how to do things. And sometimes the defenders go to the ball and other centre half says, no, don't go yet, don't go, and just little things it teaches them. But as these two boys had to do it themselves, and they were making choices that was costing goals. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. So, but if he comes in and plays with Coulson or something like that, then who knows? It's then it might be better for him. Because he was one of the ones that was injured, wasn't he? And that's why they came in, and he was out for a while.
Yeah.
But apparently, from what I can gather, the supporters, I don't watch them enough, but the supporters are saying, he's quite decent, so one for the future. Apparently, they were talking about him getting into the Scotland squad, so that's how he was doing. You know, they were talking about bringing him in. Just I wouldn't have imagined he would have been playing.
Yeah, but just to have him,
just to part of the squad and see how it works and see how he develops. I think Stevie was watching to see how he developed as a player.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's a pity he was injured.
Yeah, I know. I mean, do you think like when he comes back from this injury that he is cut out to rival, you know, the likes of Suter, who they've got there, Davies, who they've got there now, Balogun, to try and get a place in the team, or do you think he'll still have to wait around a little bit?
I don't think he'll have to wait around. I think the ones that you're talking about there, I think he'll fancy getting to be the first pick for a manager.
Yeah.
You've got to have that belief in yourself. I keep saying to people, you know, Celtic Rangers, you've got to be a different kind of breed to play for Celtic Rangers. I mean, you must be off your head, you know, because the demand is so much. I mean, I relished it, but you know, and you see players going there and they can't hack it, and you're going, you know, and then they'll go away and play well again. It's just because of the demands on Celtic Rangers. You've got to win every game. You know, if the fans could get in the training session, they would be under pressure as well, because they would pick a side and they'd want to win all the time. So it's just the demands day to day with Celtic Rangers is great. This boy seems to relish it. He seems to like it. Yeah. And I think he'll fancy his chance. I might be wrong, but someone told me Stevie had a word with him and he was going to bring him into his fold. So that's a great boost for the boy. He'll have that in his locker, and when he gets fit, he'll come through and he'll say, "No, I'm taking this place." So and I don't think there'll be anyone argue about that. If he just gets his head down, plays the way he can play, then I'm sure he'll be the pick beside whoever.
Yeah, it's very true. He's an interesting one to keep an eye on, because obviously, you know, he was in the side, but as you say, alongside James Sands, who wasn't even, you know, a central defender anyway. No. So I know it would be interesting to see him alongside, you know, the likes of Goldson for even a couple of a run of games.
I think it would help him, and I think we would like to play him in beside someone that's great experience, and so I think it'll be a different ball game when he goes in with somebody like that. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But I don't like seeing anyone get injured, so I hope he gets back.
Yeah, brutal pre-season as well, isn't it? Just like you've not even started yet.
Always playing catch up, I'm afraid, after that.
Yeah.
So, but you've got to do it. He'll do it when he gets fit. They'll put him through a pre-season anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so, but it's just not the same. It'll be a lot harder for a boy training on his own doing pre-season.
Yeah, that's very true. Just